Nogueira just announced her new skincare line, Point of View Beauty, and there's already drama. After teasing some sort of project on her socials, Mikayla announced that she is launching a skincare line called Point of View Beauty, and it's all products that are supposed to make your skin look amazing under makeup.
I have acne, I show it. If I have darkness under my eyes because I didn't sleep the night before, I show it. I'm very open about how I look on TikTok and on camera. I am not innocent in this. In my videos, I use the word flawless, perfect, poreless all the time because I'm conditioned.
While anything that Mikayla launched would probably get some sort of backlash or criticism, this time it feels a little bit different because there is already an independent beauty brand in Quebec, Canada called POV Beauty, and the founder has spoken out about how Mikayla launching under the same brand name has felt like a betrayal.
Answer that question I'm getting every day and never have to answer it again because it's really annoying. But the question is, how did you and Dawn originally meet? So me and Dawn originally met, yes, on Tumblr, but we didn't actually meet on Tumblr. So here's what happened. This was early April. I met him when he had just made his blog. He had it for 2 weeks when I met him, maybe less, I don't know, but I had my blog for already a year and a half. So it's interesting because I made a post and I was like, Omegle promo game, Tumblr as interest, and come find me. And so I was searching for people and I found all the people and I was done looking for people. So I was like, all right, I'll stay on and just talk to some of the people on Tumblr. So I was going around and I stopped at one point and
the Instagram story was in French, but translated, betrayed, sad, angry, humiliate, and heartbroken. This is how I feel at the moment about the launch of Mikayla's brand. I feel like someone has just sawn off both my legs, that someone has stolen my greatest pride. I don't have the words to describe how helpless I am. It's been almost a year since the brand existed, and to see that someone is taking your name, your concept, when you have invested all your savings, your passion, and much more. I don't know how to react or what to do right now. It saddens me to an unimaginable point. How can we do this to a small, queer Quebec business that doesn't even have the means to defend anything? Mikayla has not addressed the situation at the time of recording.
I was like, hi, and they were like, hey. And I was like, hey, what's your URL? And they were like, New York famous. So I was like, oh, that's not quality, but I clicked on it anyways. And I have no idea why. I only follow quality blogs, and he had a vertical New York City blog, and I was like, I only follow quality, so I can't follow you. But then we started talking on Omegle, and we were just having a normal conversation.
Welcome back, you guys, and today we've got to talk about Mikayla Nogueira because things are getting heated again, and this time, she's not holding back. So Mikayla recently went on a work trip to South Korea and posted a regular TikTok just doing her thing, when suddenly, the comment section exploded. And not because of her makeup. People flooded the post asking, "Where's Cody?" Literally every third comment was about her husband. Some even said she was forgetting him, like she had just left her marriage behind at the airport. And y'all, Mikayla snapped. She clapped back hard and basically told everyone to calm down. Cody is fine, he has a real job, and no, she does not need to drag him across the world every time she leaves the house. And honestly, she made some points. But this also stirred up a lot of old drama that Mikayla probably hoped was behind her. People started bringing up Cody's rehab stint again, calling out her past emotional content, and even accusing her of oversharing just enough to make people stay curious. And the backlash is growing all over again. Commenters are debating whether she's being too defensive, too flashy, or too open online. And it's all spiraling into something much bigger than just a missing face in her videos. So, let's rewind a bit because the timeline of this situation is actually really important to understand why Mikayla is being called out again. And why this time, she's not backing down. Because this isn't just about a TikTok trip or one clapback. It's about how Mikayla's personal life became everyone's business. And whether she accidentally gave the internet too much ammo. Let's get into where this all started. And why Where's Cody turned into the internet's favorite question that Mikayla is clearly tired of hearing. So here's what really set things off again. Mikayla posted a video from Seoul, South Korea, where she's currently on a business trip. She's working with labs, testing formulas for her makeup line, literally doing what she does best. And the comment section? It was a mess. Not about the makeup, not about the skincare. All people could focus on was Cody. Where's Cody? She forgot about Cody again. Why isn't he with her? Like, it turned from a product post to a full-on marriage investigation thread. And honestly, Mikayla had had enough. She jumped right into the comments and then posted her own response video, basically saying, "What is wrong with y'all?" And she wasn't being cute about it. She was serious. Mikayla made it super clear that Cody has a real 9-to-5 job, he gets 2 weeks of vacation a year, and no, he can't just hop on a plane to Korea because she's working. She literally said, "Do you bring your husband to work with you?" And the tone was very much like, "I'm done explaining this." She also reminded people that just because he's not in every frame doesn't mean something is wrong. But still, the comments kept coming. So Mikayla turned it into a bit of a joke, replying to fans suggesting she carry around a cardboard cutout of Cody and even saying she might just do that. But even with the sarcasm, you could tell she was frustrated. Like, genuinely frustrated. She's out here trying to run a business, travel for work, and every time she posts, she has to defend her relationship. And it's not like this came out of nowhere. The Cody obsession has been brewing for months, especially after last year's emotional TikToks where Mikayla was open about her mental health struggles and Cody's noticeable absence. And here's the thing, Mikayla actually did address all of that a few months ago. She revealed Cody had been in rehab during that time and that they were going through a really hard phase. She even said she debated sharing that information, but decided to be honest with her followers. So for her, it probably feels like, I already gave you the truth, and now I'm still getting dragged? But we're just scratching the surface, because as soon as she opened up about Cody's journey, that's when things really took a turn. And not necessarily in the way she hoped. Let's talk about what really went down behind the scenes. So let's go back to why everyone even started asking, "Where's Cody?" in the first place, and why it's not just some random nosy internet thing. Because around the holidays last year, Mikayla was posting content that had people really concerned. She looked down, emotionally drained, and was openly talking about not being in a good place. She posted clips from bed saying she felt like she was rotting, that she was mentally struggling, and that she had fallen back into unhealthy habits. But here's what people noticed. Cody was completely MIA from all of it. And naturally, the speculation started. People were wondering if they had broken up, if something had happened to him, or if she was going through something she wasn't ready to share. But Mikayla stayed quiet. For months. Until finally, in a Get Ready With Me video this April, she revealed the truth. Cody had gone to rehab. She explained that Cody was struggling with addiction, had relapsed twice in 2024, and checked into a 45-day inpatient rehab program. She admitted it had been one of the hardest periods of her life, and that yes, that's what she was going through while still trying to create content and run her brand. She said she was proud of him for facing it head-on and was choosing to share this because she knew people had questions, and because they were now on the other side of it. And while some fans genuinely appreciated the honesty and vulnerability, others didn't hold back with the criticism. Some felt she was turning Cody's story into content or using it to drive engagement. There were Reddit threads accusing her of sympathy baiting, and people started picking apart every detail of her home, like the wine rack in her house tour, questioning why there would be alcohol around someone in recovery. But what people forget is Mikayla never had to share this. She chose to. Maybe because she wanted to clear the air. Maybe because she was tired of the whispers. But once that door was open, people treated it like a free pass to comment on every single thing, even if it was deeply personal. And just when it felt like things might quiet down, her next move reignited the fire completely. Let's get into the post-rehab chapter, where things looked picture perfect. But the internet wasn't having it. After the big reveal about Cody's rehab, things seemed to settle down, at least on the surface. Mikayla started posting happier content again. Cody came home, they moved into a new house. She celebrated her birthday, shared cute couple moments, and even gave fans glimpses of the new life they were building together. On the outside, everything looked solid. And in her words, they were doing better than ever. She later confirmed that they had both started couples therapy and described it as a total game changer. In one clip, Mikayla said she felt like she was living on cloud nine, and fans could see she genuinely meant it. It wasn't performative, it wasn't forced. It was the side of Mikayla that people hadn't seen in a while, calm, open, and grounded. For a moment, it felt like the storm had passed. But if there's one thing the internet loves more than a comeback story, it's picking that story apart. And that's exactly what started happening. Again, people started commenting on the background of her videos. That massive wine rack in her house tour? Yeah, that became a full-blown Reddit thread. Some questioned whether she was being mindful about Cody's recovery. Others speculated whether he was really doing okay, or if she was just making it look like everything was fine. A few even went as far as accusing her of creating a redemption arc for content. And then there were the house tour videos themselves, which, by the way, were stunning. She showed off her custom beauty room, her massive closet with color-coded clothes, her Princess Diaries-style shoe wall. It was peak influencer content. But not everyone was loving it. Suddenly, people weren't just criticizing how she talked about Cody, they were criticizing everything. They said it felt like she was flaunting her wealth. They called her out for being tone deaf. Some said the content wasn't relatable anymore. One comment even went viral saying, "Used to follow you for beauty tips, now it's just house tours and humble brags." So now Mikayla found herself in this strange place, where even when things were good, people still had something to say. And no matter what she posted, someone was ready to spin it into a controversy. But the backlash hit full force when she went full tour mode, and the internet had opinions about what she decided to show. Let's talk about the house flex that reignited the storm. So now we've got Mikayla feeling good, Cody back home, recovery on track, couples therapy in full swing, and then comes the ultimate influencer move, the new house reveal. And you guys, it wasn't just a soft little apartment tour. This was a full-blown showcase of glam, wealth, and luxury. Mikayla went room by room showing off everything. A custom-built makeup studio, a closet that looked like it came out of a fashion magazine, perfume walls, velvet chairs, full-body mirrors, literally everything down to the color-coded shoe organization. And at first, fans were clapping. Like, yes girl, you worked hard, you deserve this. But that applause didn't last long. Very quickly, the tone shifted. People started calling the video out of touch, embarrassing, and even gross. One comment that went viral said, "It's giving Kim, there are people dying." And y'all know that's not a compliment. That's literally the internet's way of saying, read the room. People who had once related to Mikayla, the girl next door who blew up doing raw makeup videos from her bedroom, now felt completely disconnected. They said she was flaunting her money, posting tone-deaf content during a time when a lot of people are struggling financially, and turning her page into a luxury lifestyle blog instead of keeping it real. Some of the most liked comments were brutal. "Used to feel empowered watching you. Now it just makes me feel bad." So glad this comment section passed the vibe check. I got the ick immediately. Does all that greed make you happy? And the thing is, Mikayla didn't really respond to this. She just kept posting, unboxing her makeup collection, showing off new furniture, organizing more drawers. She didn't directly address the hate, which only made people talk more. Some saw that as confidence, others saw it as arrogance. But through it all, her most loyal fans kept defending her, saying, "She earned this. If you don't like it, just unfollow." And "Why is it okay when the Kardashians do it, but not her?" And honestly, that's where it gets complicated. Because the criticism wasn't just about the house or the money, it was about the shift in how people viewed her. Let's break down why the internet seems so divided, and why Mikayla's biggest supporters and harshest critics might actually be saying the same thing. At this point, Mikayla Nogueira isn't just dealing with one wave of backlash, she's caught in a full-on identity crisis, at least in the eyes of her audience. Because the reactions to her content right now aren't just split, they're polar opposites. On one side, you've got people who are completely over it. They say she's changed, that she's no longer relatable, and that she's disconnected from the community that built her. And on the other side, hardcore fans who think the criticism is just plain unfair. They're standing up for her, saying she worked her way up, and if she wants to show off her closet or her skincare line or her happy relationship, she should be allowed to do that without being dragged every time she hits post. But what's interesting is that both sides actually want the same thing: authenticity. critics say they miss the old Mikayla, the raw, unfiltered girl who posted in her bathrobe and ranted about drugstore mascara. They feel like now everything is polished, every video is curated, and every caption feels like it's been reviewed by a brand team. They're not mad she's successful, they're mad she seems distant. Meanwhile, fans argue that this is still Mikayla, just a more grown, stable, and confident version. They say she's allowed to evolve, allowed to enjoy her success, and she doesn't owe anyone the messier version of her life just to seem real. But here's the catch. Mikayla kind of fed into both narratives. She was super open when Cody was in rehab. She did invite people into that personal space. But then she flipped to house tours and brand launches without really walking fans through the emotional journey in between. And that's where the confusion kicked in. People don't know which version of her they're getting. The one who's vulnerable and crying on camera, or the one posting shoe racks and travel vlogs like everything's fine. And when that disconnect happens, audiences turn on you. Fast. But maybe Mikayla doesn't care. Maybe she's over-explaining herself. Or maybe, just maybe, she's quietly rebranding in real time and hoping the people who get it will stick around and the ones who don't. Well, they were never really on her side to begin with. Let's wrap this all up and talk about what this means for Mikayla going forward, because the next move she makes, it could change everything. So now the big question is, where does Mikayla go from here? Because whether she meant to or not, she's officially at a crossroads. She's no longer just that viral makeup girl from TikTok. She's a full-on public figure with a brand, a platform, and millions of people watching her every move. And with that kind of spotlight, everything from her skincare line launches to her husband's absence in a TikTok becomes a talking point. What's wild is that none of this backlash is really about one thing. It's not just the Cody situation, or the rehab reveal, or the house tour. It's the accumulation of everything over time. The vibe shift. The sense that she's changed even though, in reality, she's probably just grown. But the internet doesn't always give people the space to do that. And right now, she's playing it smart. She's not crying on camera. She's not posting long apology videos. She's simply posting and letting the content speak for itself. The clapback in Korea, short and sharp. The skincare promos, consistent and polished. The luxury content, unapologetic. Whether people love it or hate it, they're still watching. And that alone proves Mikayla still knows exactly how to keep her audience engaged, even if some of them are hate-watching. So what happens next? Well, that depends on her. If she wants to lean into this newer, more curated version of herself, she absolutely can. But if she wants to reconnect with the audience that helped her rise, the people who fell in love with her authenticity, she might need to meet them halfway again. Maybe it's time for another real talk. Maybe not. But either way, the choices she makes from here will define the next chapter of her career. Because the truth is, Mikayla's not just facing a comment section anymore, she's facing expectations. From fans, from critics, from brands. And how she handles that pressure could either cement her as a long-term beauty icon or turn her into another influencer cautionary tale. One thing's for sure though, whether you're rooting for her or rolling your eyes, everybody's watching. And in the world of internet fame, that's power.